Netflix is telling the terrifying true story of Jeffrey Dahmer with its new Ryan Murphy series, Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Starring Evan Peters as the titular serial killer, the true crime drama follows Dahmer's numerous murders through the lens of his victims. The series was first announced in March 2021 with the American Horror Story alum attached to lead and is the latest in a series of projects to recount Dahmer's murders. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at how Jeffrey Dahmer reacted to getting confronted by his victims. Yeah, you heard it right. Dahmer raped, murdered, and dismembered at least 17 men and boys in Milwaukee, Wisconsin between 1978 and 1991, shocking the world with the extent of his crimes, including cannibalism and necrophilia. While the series gives a closer look at his victims, it also highlights one victim who got away and played a significant role in Dahmer's eventual arrest. Here's everything to know about how Jeffrey Dahmer was finally caught in 1991, including his arrest and sentencing. Dahmer committed his first murder in 1978, just 3 weeks after he graduated from high school, when he picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks and lured him back to his house. When Stephen Hicks attempted to leave, Dahmer bludgeoned Hicks with a 10-pound dumbbell before strangling him to death. Following the murder of Hicks, Dahmer enrolled at Ohio State University, where he dropped out after one term as a result of his persistent alcohol abuse. He later enlisted in the U.S. Army, where he received an honorable discharge, per the New York Times. He returned to Ohio to live with his father and stepmother, where his heavy drinking continued. He was later sent to live with his grandmother in Wisconsin, where he struggled to hold down a job and faced several arrests, including indecent exposure and disorderly conduct, according to biography.com. In November 1987, Dahmer killed again when he drugged a man named Stephen Tuomi and seemingly attacked him during a blackout. He later admitted to having no recollection of Tuomi's murder. Following the murder of Tuomi, Dahmer began actively seeking victims to seduce and kill. By 1991, he had killed 17 men and boys. In July 1991, Dahmer approached 3 men, offering them money to pose for nude photographs. A man named Tracy Edwards agreed and followed Dahmer back to his apartment, where Dahmer handcuffed him and held a knife to his chest, telling Edwards that he intended to eat his heart. As reported by ABC News, Edwards was eventually able to escape by punching Dahmer and knocking him to the ground, allowing him to run through the unlocked front door. He was able to flag down 2 Milwaukee police officers, whom he led back to Dahmer's apartment. When they arrived, the officers noticed an open drawer that contained Polaroid pictures of human bodies in various stages of dismemberment. Once Dahmer saw the Polaroid pictures, he tried to flee, but they overpowered him and cuffed him, per History.com. Following his arrest on July 22nd, Dahmer gave a detailed confession to police, confessing to a total of 17 slayings, per AP. After his confession, Dahmer was charged with 4 counts of first-degree intentional homicide on July 25th, followed by 8 more murder charges on August 6th and 3 more on August 22nd, bringing the total to 15 in Wisconsin, per AP. In September 1991, Dahmer pleaded innocent by reason of mental illness, but later changed his plea to guilty but insane in January 1992. As psychologist Dr. Holly Schiff told A&E True Crime, by choosing to plead insanity, Dahmer had the burden to prove to the jurors, since 10 out of the 12 must agree that he was insane at the time of the killings. The network adds that if proven sane, he would be sent to prison, but if declared insane, Dahmer would be sent to a state institution from which he could later petition for release. His trial began on January 30th, 1992, and closing arguments were given on February 14th, 1992. The following day, Dahmer was ruled to be sane and not suffering from mental disorder at the time of each of the murders. He was convicted of 16 murders and sentenced to 16 life terms in prison. Though he was transferred to Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin after his sentencing, his time in jail didn't last long. On November 28, 1994, he was bludgeoned to death by a fellow inmate. He was 34. Since then, he has been the focus of various TV and film projects, including the 2002 biographical film Dahmer, starring Jeremy Renner, the 2017 film My Friend Dahmer, starring Ross Lynch, and most recently the TV series Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, starring Peters. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned!